Hi everybody, it's your girl Diamond Love, and I'm back with an all-new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's not waste no time. So we start off with Melody. Melody's having a invite over with Tisha. They're talking about how, they've had some rocky moments, but they want to get back to their friendship. Slow time, let's get into it. So we start off with Melody. Melody's having a invite over with Tisha. They're talking about how, they've had some rocky moments, but they want to get back to their friendship slowly but surely. And Tisha gives her a champagne that her and Marcel have developed. Chocolate in a bottle. It sounds delicious. I might look in something like that. And of course, Mel is talking about how she's in love with herself. She really is enjoying being single again and finding herself. She pretty much have lost her identity and her voice in her marriage. And even though folks tend to be insensitive about what she has gone through and don't want to listen, she's like, I'm doing me and let me do me. Let me do me, and that's all I ask. So Tisha, she's talking about how COVID was a godsend to her and Marcel's marriage. But the last 6 months, he's been working on this development project, so it hasn't been enough romance time. They have standard date night, there's no getting around it, so she wants to implement that because they're going to Houston for Cigar Week and also to look for another location for Black. So she wants to use that as some alone time. Also, their 51st anniversary is coming up. And Mel doesn't want Letitia to be in the same predicament as she was. So look for the signs, talk about it, and make sure that you guys are both looking at making sure the marriage is the goal. Don't let it disrupt it. If y'all business is booming, don't let the marriage tear apart. Let's keep it let's keep it solidified. So then we get to, okay, so if you guys talk about the way you want to romance it, spice it up. She went to a sex store a few years ago with Kimmy, didn't buy anything, but she went to a sex party, bought something. Marcel didn't like it, but it's back to the drawing board. So she's trying to find some ways to, fantasize it. And Mel said, why don't you just Dr. Francis? Tisha said that as far as going to therapy, I don't want to go to therapy when things get bad. I want therapy to be a helpful hand while things are good before it gets bad. I can understand that as well. You just want to have like that outside voice that you guys have might not have talked to. I know it's itchy, but then we get to Martell. Martell's at his mom's house putting snake repellent because over the years, his mom gets one snake every year, and he either has to kill it or spread some repellent. Then he talks about the conversation he had with Mel's mom, or in other words, an unwelcome greeting. Because in the scene, Martell was pretty much put out the house the entire time. He was welcomed in by Mel, but then put out by Mel. Talk about the boundaries, but then kept being put out. Mel's mom opened the door and talks to him. She wanted to greet him, but then she's like, nah, it's cool because we got a lot to talk about because I got a little problem with you. Martell don't like getting called out for what he's done because he has gone to social media to air out his problems. This time, Mel's mom has been put in it, and she has a reason. She has a really good reason as to why she feels like you doing too much. We need to have a conversation. Then the whole thing about how he felt like she disrespecting him. She ain't saying nothing disrespectful to you. That you use the word disrespectful when you see fit. Do you not know what disrespect means? I don't think you know what it means. So Martell's mom wants everybody to stay in their lane, let Mel and Martell figure out their marriage, and let nobody else be a outside factor talking about it. Martell's mom was like, I have a life, let her have a life. But I feel like in the midst of that, the way that it was said, I understand Martell's mom wanting Martell's mom to make sure everybody don't have an outside factor in their relationship. It is Mel and Martell's situation. It is. But as for Mel's mom, she was a witness to what's happening. Social media, on the show, after the show, she was a witness, and she was also put in a situation that she shouldn't have been put in. And it was Martell's fault. We're going to get to that in a minute. So we get back to Marceau. Marceau is happy that the Black Bar Lounge is excelling, but he doesn't want it to be an afterthought. He doesn't want it to be a one-hit wonder. He wants it to keep building. So he talks to his staff about making sure that their signature drink is selling, everything's all nice and clean and organized, and let's keep it going. But then he's also talking about how he shouldn't be the one talking to his staff about how to be better, talking to his staff about how to make things more organized. I felt like you're the owner. You should always have a pep talk or a meeting with your staff about how to make things flow better in your restaurant, in your bar lounge. He feels like it's all up to Jalen. Not really. It's a 2-and-2. A general manager does what the owner tells him to do, or in a way of guide him for what he can do. And then, of course, as they go by, the general manager will make decisions on his own. But we're going to find out why he hasn't. So, Jalen expresses that last week we had a couple of no calls, no shows, and we were doing good. But he believes that Marcel is not good at teaching. He's good at talking. And he wants Jalen to be just like Marceau. That's not going to be cool. And then he's like, I know you. I know you're good for this. He's like, I don't think you really know me. I'm not an outgoing person. To talk to people I don't know, I'm not a people person. I don't know. That's not who I am. So you don't know me. And what was asked was, Marceau asked, how do you think your experience were being a general manager? He said, for me having no experience at all, I think I'm doing pretty good. Marceau said, okay, well, Spice having excuses. Let's talk about how we can do your performance better. He's like, what excuses? There have been no excuses. What's been said is actual factual. Jalen does not have experience of being a general manager in any type of bar, cocktail lounge, restaurant. He does not have the experience. So that's not an excuse. That's a fact. He's a college graduate with no work ethic experience in any field. And you put him as a general manager, that's on you, Marceau, because you want to be cheap and want to hire somebody in the family because you want to keep it in the family. It's cool, but you are going to have to hire people that you are going to have to get to know to work for you. You're going to have to do that. And that means hiring somebody that actually knows how to run a restaurant. Jalen does not know how. So I'm not finna give Jalen no flack about how could he not know how to do this. Because he don't. How can you get mad at somebody who doesn't know what to do? How you can get mad at somebody? You can't. You can't. And Jalen has been trying to tell him, how can we make this better? Y'all need more cups. He said, okay, I could build a space. Okay, when? You say we need more cups, where are we going to put it? The storage capacity is probably filled with everything else. And then he said, we need more bartenders. He said, no, we need more servers. Sorry. So we're back to Jalen. Jalen has been trying to talk to Marceau on a business way of trying to keep him up on game what's been happening in the store. And Marceau's pretty much saying, do it. Do it yourself. You know what to do. He don't. He's saying we need more cups. There's no room for him. You say you could build a space because you know the space. Okay, well then do it, Marceau. Do it. Then it came down to the whole, we need more bartenders. He said, no, we need more servers. To be honest, the amount of bars or the amount of restaurants that I've been in that have this type of bar and restaurant, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 bartenders behind a bar. And I feel like that's an even footing for what you would need. You can't have one bartender to serve 20 drinks or to serve 15 drinks in one setting. You know how fast people want their drinks. You know how people want to keep on flowing. He needs help behind the bar. A server is not going to speed it up. I feel like Marceau is literally counting everything he said and making it sound better than what it is. Try it. Okay, I'll try it. Hold on. And then he also said when he got hired on the job, he was supposed to have on-the-go training promised by Marceau and Tisha. That never happened. When things get hard or when things happen, Tisha and Marceau pretty much blame him for the mistakes that they've made, and they want him to figure it out. That's not how you do things. You can't put a big project on somebody and even though they don't know what they're doing, all they do is being there. Even though y'all supposed to be the headlining of everything, you guys are missing in action, which is poor business skills. It's poor business skills and it's lack of communication on Tisha and Marceau's part. And he said, and then of course Marceau wants to give him another bomb. We're gonna go to Houston. You're gonna be here by yourself. I'm always here by myself. In order for things to make it work better, why don't you hire somebody that can help me? Hire somebody that I can learn how to do. Okay, I can hire an assistant general manager. No, what you need to do is demote Jalen into being a in-training assistant manager and hire an actual general manager of the Black. You need to hire an actual person who has years of experience of working in a restaurant/bar lounge. You need to have that experience. So I don't know why Marceau's acting like he don't know where money comes from or he don't know how to do business. He just feels like if he says everything in a fancy way, then he sounds smart. You not. So we get to the part where Marcel meets up with Mel's mom. She expresses that the pain is still there and healing is going to take some time. Then, of course, it originates from a post that was made that Mel's mom keeps the kids from Martell. That's not true. She would never do that. And then she got backlash from other people co-signing on Martell's bullshit that everybody wants to take his kids away from him. No. No. The reason why, I feel like the reason why because of this is because what you were doing online and on the show. You wasn't being an at-par husband. You was being a subpar father and a subpar husband. And people calling you out for it. But you got other people advocating your bullshit, aka your mom. Then of course, she said, I'm not taking no sides. I'm staying out of it. But when of course she either took her stand, she still got attacked for it. Like, I'm still the kid's grandma at the end of the day, and I know what you guys have is going on, but I don't want my grandkids feeling hurt by this. I don't want to. Then, of course, while going through the divorce, Mel wasn't taking Martell's calls. I can understand that. And then talking to her mom was the only avenue that he can talk to. So he thought, why couldn't I talk to you? But she said, in the midst of that, you have been speaking to me very disrespectfully. And we saw that last episode. When you want to automatically be in defense mode when somebody is talking about your shit. And you were like, I'm not finna do this with you. Don't expect me. You don't like it when folks call you out on your stuff. You don't like it. Try not to get irritated because my son is just asking for me all the time. And I'm really trying not to get irritated, trying to be positive. But, and of course, Mel's mom. I will never speak to you. You speak to me very disrespectfully, and I know for a fact that Mel will never speak to your mom like that. Because don't get it twisted, Martell. I don't know how every time somebody want to kiss your ass and you want to get a pound in the back with shit that you did, but you do speak disrespectfully to people. And you need to watch that. It's really unbecoming. It's very unattractive. It just shows what a weak, whiny women man that you are. Can't handle it when somebody gets back the same energy that you give and you say disrespect. No, you coming at me foul, I'm giving you foul back. And all this, she doesn't want her grandkids to live in a separate home. She doesn't want to. But at the end of the day, she wants all of them to be a family. And she wants all of them to be a united front for the kids. Then Martell wants to go around and around the world and back about how the way things that happened wasn't how it was. There were times where he didn't cheat and nobody believed him. Then there was times where he did do it but didn't want nobody else to call him out. I'm like, Martell, either way, it doesn't matter. Then he wants to say, Mel disrespected me. No. You need to own the fact that you made a mistake of sleeping with that girl one time, but you kept going back. And you only went back to get the things that you wanted. You didn't want no life with Arian. You just wanted to get sloppy toppy for the time being and sex when you wanted to, and that was it. But the fact of the matter is that one time shouldn't have been it, and y'all would have been healed, but no, you kept going. In the course of 5 years, you kept going to that woman. 5. At the end of the day, that's not a mistake. That's a conscious decision. And Mel's mom said it best. She said, how can you feel like what you did was justifiable, but it wasn't? And he's all about, I wanted to keep the kids together. I want us to be a family, but I did this, I did that. But then, of course, in the midst of you trying to keep it together, you lied. You lied. Kept on saying Mel disrespected you. Kept on saying she wasn't doing what she's supposed to do, but that still did not give you the pass to do what you did. It didn't. And then I feel like you got comfortable. Mel's mom said you got comfortable in what you were doing. Having a family life here and having a whole nother life here. You got extremely comfortable. And when Mel couldn't take it no more, you got upset. You think she's supposed to just take it? Take you cheating every time and forgive you and taking you back? Give you another kid? No. So then, of course, the consequences that you made ended badly. And from now on, do not put issues on social media because you are so quick to go on there now. Don't do it. So then we're introduced to Tiffany. Obviously, it wasn't much of an introduction. She and her husband Lewis, they have been married a year now, but I'm not completely aware of their dating history. She has 2 teenage boys, one from her previous situation and his from his previous situation. They're both a year apart, 14 and 15. Then, of course, she talks about the conversation she had with Mel. Mel wants interest from HBCU, hiring, developing her brand and everything, and giving insight about life after divorce and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Apparently, Tiffany's been through divorce, and we find out that Louis has been through a separation, also a divorce. So to come together and find that common ground is a blessing. And if people don't want to work out, that's fine. If they do, don't just, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes hard work on both parts. And then we are into now we're Tisha. Tisha's arriving in Houston. She's by herself, but then of course she feels like it's going to be delayed because Marcel had to stay behind and fix some kinks into the champagne. Apparently they made the bottle labels wrong, so you have to pretty much start all over and make sure everything is working good. And of course he doesn't want it to. Tisha doesn't want it to mess up the romantic time. It's already been delayed by a day, but she wants to be sure they have a good time and have romance time. And he's like, okay, we can have sex. Oh, my nose is running. And she's like, no, I want the whining, I want the dining, I want the candles. He's like, we can skip all that money to have sex. I'm like, Marcel, I don't know why. It feels like you're trying to hold off money for some reason. It could be you being funny, because my husband does that too, knowing damn well he knows I want the whole entire dining experiences. I want to dress up, I want to go out, I want to enjoy my husband. I don't want to just get down with the nasty time. I know that's where you're coming from, but it feels like every time something is being asked of you and money is involved, you quick to say, we can save all this money and just do this. I'm like, are y'all broke? Is something going on? Is black too much? Like, I don't know. Is your mistress asking for some money? I have no idea. But I'm feeling two ways about how you want to constantly not try to hear what the other person is asking of you. And if it's money, you want to defend and say, no, we could do it this way. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. So then we get to the end and we see Destiny. It's her birthday. I love her copper auburn hair that she got. Beautiful. The fiery red dress. Mel's dress look beautiful. I love the black bob. But then we get to the whole thing. Everybody's taking drinks. Kiki and have a good time. Destiny had a bad day yesterday. And Mel's like, why didn't you call me? Now, I know people are to themselves and they don't want to bother nobody. And Destiny's trying to get better. But Mel's feeling like, are we not as close as we are? Because Destiny, you've been in everybody else's business since the last season. That when it's time for you, you are completely not willing to speak about anything. Finding out you and LeBerrick Avenue are now divorced. The whole thing, we knew y'all was going to get to that, but we did not see it happen because you don't want to talk about it. I don't know if Destiny doesn't want to portray the reality of her being on reality TV, meaning she has to talk about what's going on in her life. But at the same point in time, you're going to be that type of person on reality TV that doesn't give anything. And you want to be sure you're on multiple seasons so you can still get that paycheck because you are talking about your life. But if you don't want your life being on TV, then don't sign up for the show. So then, Kimmy arrives and Destiny tells her, Kimmy is feeling this type of way because when we had this conversation, I thought everything was cool. She said no, it's been a month. And Kimmy don't like to see a marriage breakup, especially one like Destiny's. They've been together for some time, a long time, but then they've been married for a year, and then they just had a brand new baby. That's a lot on a person, but she don't want to cry. Destiny don't want to cry either. She's trying to be happy. She's trying to take it all in and just move on. Tiffany arrives, and then apparently Tiffany's wedding was the hottest thing in the area as far as the news. She surprised Louis with a surprise wedding on the new baseball field in COVID. I mean, you could have a wedding at the baseball field. Yeah, I saw Legally Blonde. But, she doing a surprise wedding for Louis? I mean, did she have everything, like, all together? Her dress, his suit, their kids' outfits, where to go, how did that work? The Jumbotron, how did that work? I mean, that was talking town, but she bold for that. And obviously got married, they've been together for a year. Okay. So then we find out that Kimmy and Tiffany, they actually are becoming really good friends because both her husband and Kimmy's husband, they used to play football back at college. And their kids are on the same team. So they've seen each other in passing, say hi every once in a while, building up their friendship. Tiffany wanted to let it slip that she heard or saw Monster vaping in the bathroom. She said, who? Monster was doing what? Vaping? Oh. That sounds like a Maurice question if you ask me. Then Kimmy's in confessional. Why am I hearing this about my stepson from a stranger who I just met 5 minutes ago? Maurice, we gotta talk. Maurice, communicate. This is not good. It's embarrassing, and this is not Tiffany's place. I feel like Tiffany has that mindset already. You know, when you think about something, you see something, you remember a scene from a movie, and it's eating at your brain to remember the scene and remember the actor. That's what's going on in Tiffany's head when she slipped about monster vaping, and when she slips this out. Getting into it. Hold on. So then, of course, Tiffany talks about how they have two boys as well, close in age, and they get along great. But Kimmy's like, my oldest son is 22, and Monster's 14. So different ages. He'd be like, get away from me. I'm like that too. I am now 28, and my sister is 16 and 10. But we pretty much have a good, close relationship as well. But of course, different stuff for different folks. Then, of course, come to find out, Jalen had a little crush on Destiny at the time. And Destiny was like, how would you feel if we was to date? She said, ain't nobody that I know, older woman or not, is going to date my son. That's not going to happen. No, sorry, Bob. No. Then Tiffany goes at it again. She remembers an incident of meeting Destiny at Melody's house because it was an event that happened. Her husband won. He won an award, but the next day she thought she met Destiny until she saw her at Melody's house. But then she said, "Oh my God, I saw you yesterday. Your outfit was so cute." She said, "That wasn't me," and I'm like, "Oh Lord." Destiny was caught off guard because she's like, "Harper, who this woman? I don't know you. How are you talking about how my now ex-husband was in the presence of another woman, and now you want to come at me and telling me, oh, that was so cute, but that wasn't me." She didn't like that, and I think that's where Destiny and Mel are going to have a clash because of that. And that's not how you're supposed to meet someone new at her birthday party. You're not supposed to talk about that stuff. No. So then, of course, in the midst of hearing that, Mel was like, "Does he have another business partner?" And then Kim was like, "That's how you find out." And just Kimmy's face was like, I was like, "Oh Lord, no, no." So Destiny gets up and goes to the bathroom. Tiffany's in the confessional, telling how I did not mean for it to be blown up that way. I did not come out shady. I was just talking. But the fact that she wanted to get up and go to the bathroom was a little bit dramatic for me. But girl, if this is how you want to take it, if you want to cry, I'm gonna let you cry on your birthday. I did not like how nonchalant and insensitive that Tiffany was about what she literally just said. If you are sitting there at your birthday party and you're meeting a new person, and this new person is telling you that they saw your husband out with another woman, and the next day she thought it was you but it wasn't, how would you react? You will have the same exact rolling of the eyes. Who you talking to? I know you ain't talking to me. Even though they're divorced, but at the same point in time, that is still a touchy subject because it's been a month now. The wounds are still there. But I didn't like how Tiffany thought that her dramatic exit was too much because, girl, that's not cool. That's not funny. And that's not cute. Tiffany, I don't know if I'm going to like you this season because of that. And I don't know, your picture looks older than what you look. You look younger in the scene, but in the confessional or in the picture that the promotion, you look older. But this is definitely going to segue into what's going to happen next week, and I cannot wait for the mess. But that's all I got for y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, fly my content. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye. I don't know, Siri wanted to start something. But anyway, that's all I have for y'all. Please sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see y'all later. Bye.